Hey y'all, if you have student loans, you want to stay to the end of this video because as of May the 5th, they are going to start doing garnishments if you are currently in default. I'm going to break down what default looks like and any student loan forgiveness plans you guys may be eligible for so that you can lower your student loan debt as much as possible. Okay, you guys, so let's get straight into it. Recently, there was an article that came out in ABC News just letting us know that some 5 million Americans with default student loan payments will have their loans sent to collections on May the 5th, and that was announced by the Department of Education. So let me give y'all a little background of what happened. Everybody was under the impression that we were still under the COVID deferment. The COVID deferment ended towards the end of 2024. So what happened is a lot of people did not realize that their student loan payments were actually due. So most recently, within the last few months, a lot of people have gotten hit with those 90-day late payments on their student loans, and they've been seeing their credit scores drop anywhere from 100 to 200 points because the student loan payments have been due, and they sent out emails, even sent out some paperwork to let you know that. So if that has been affecting you, I'm going to give you guys a few ways that you can offset those late payments. Maybe go into deferment, get on an income-driven repayment plan, or get student loan forgiveness altogether. Now, the details of this article is basically saying, for the people who have not been making payments for several months, you're about to go into default. As of May 5th, if you are currently in default status, they're going to start collecting on that money. Now, student loans is one of the few things where if you don't pay now, you're going to pay later, but you're going to pay. They are going to start garnishing your wages, which means they're going to take money directly from your paycheck if you do not get your student loans up to date and out of default as of May the 5th. Now, to avoid this wage garnishment, also, they're able to garnish Social Security. They can garnish your income tax again. They have multiple options on how they can get this money back. So I want to let you guys know how you can get up to date with your student loans, because there are a few options that you have, and I made a few notes. So the first thing is you can go into deferment. So basically, deferment is you offsetting you having to make another payment for the next few months. Now, there is a trick that you can ask if you do decide you're going to do the deferment option. You can contact the Department of Education and you're going to let them know, hey, I wanted to do deferment. Is there any way that y'all can backdate my deferment to cover any late payments that I may have gotten, so that doesn't negatively affect my credit report? I didn't know. I've always been on time with things. Can y'all please just help me with that? Now, usually they will allow you to do this, but main thing is it does not hurt to ask, especially if you're already going to go into doing the deferment option. The next thing that you can do is called a income-driven repayment plan. Now, originally it was paused for a bit due to the Trump administration, but the income-driven repayment plan is now back open and accepting applications, and I'm going to put the info on the screen for you guys. And this is going to be based on your current income. Usually they ask you to submit proof of income, whether it be check stubs, W-2s. If you don't have an income, they'll ask you to submit some type of proof for that so that you'll have a $0 payment. But the main thing is you want to get set up on some type of payment plan so that you are not missing payments, going into default, and possibly facing the wage garnishments. And then the final option that you guys could also decide to do is going to be the student loan forgiveness. Now, there are a few student loan forgiveness plans that I want to break down to y'all so you know what your real options are with doing this. The first one, and the one I noticed that people qualify for the most, is going to be the public service loan forgiveness. Now, with this one, you have to be employed by the government or some type of nonprofit. This also applies to teachers if you're in administration at a school or a college. A lot of people who work in public service, so this actually applies to like nurses, CNAs, pharmacy techs, pharmacists, lawyers. There is a multitude of different public service options for what type of employer you have to see if you qualify. So I'm going to put the link in the description for you guys because they actually have a link where you can check and see if your employer is one that qualifies for the public service loan forgiveness. Once you have determined that you are qualified for it, they can actually backdate however long you have been in that industry. So let's say you've been working as a nurse for the past 5 years. You can actually backdate those 5 years so that you get the full credit. In order for you to do the public service loan forgiveness, you have to make 120 on-time payments. Now, if you have already been in that field, they will backdate it for you to go towards your 120 on-time payments. And then the final thing is the actual employer eligibility. They have an option where you can go directly on their website and you can do a e-signature where you send the documentation to your actual job or previous jobs, and they have to give an e-signature confirming like your start date, different things like that. Or you can manually do the paperwork and send it in from your job as well. Either way, it has to be verified directly with your job in order for you to get that option for everything to count towards your 120 payments. So once you have made 120 payments, the rest of whatever you owe is forgiven. So that is why this is a big one that most people qualify for and they usually like to do. The other thing is going to be the borrower defense plan. I love telling people about this one. I have a more in-depth video that I'm going to link above for you guys, just showing you how to do the actual application side of things. But here I'm going to explain to you how it works. So with borrower defense, this is a forgiveness plan for people who went to a school and you feel like they did some type of manipulative practices to get you to actually sign up and go there. So that's going to be your Everest, your ITT Tech, a lot of those vocational schools that are literally not even open anymore. They've closed down. If you went to one of those colleges, and I'll put the link in the description to see what schools qualify, you can actually apply for the borrower defense plan and get the student loan specifically for that college that you went to forgiven as well. Now, on the borrower defense plan, I'm not going to lie, it can take some time for them to fully process it. Anywhere I've seen from 3, 6, all the way up to 12 months sometimes. But once they do process it, it is forgiven, it's completed, everything for that school. And like I said, I'll link the video above so that y'all can see how to do the application process. I promise you it's not hard. So that's why I went ahead and just made a video for you guys. So those are going to be your options for student loan forgiveness, repayment plans, and deferment. Please get on top of this, you guys. Make sure you send this video to a friend that you have that has student loans, and subscribe and like this video. Let me know that you made it in the comments below. I will keep you guys updated with what's going on with student loans as I get more updates on, what's being put out. As always, thank you guys for joining my video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you again for hanging with me here at Rose Credit Repair. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment below if you have any credit questions. I'm going to be answering them myself in the comments. So you know what to do. Until next time.